Hey guys, good morning. Um, it's a little bit later in the day. It's like 2, so I guess it's technically afternoon. Um, I woke up at like 10. I I've been for the past, well, basically since like 6 yesterday, I've been trying to upload the 2-hour 4K video of me walking in the woods, or it's like an hour and like 40 minutes or something. Let me look. Yeah, it's like an hour and 40 something minutes. And the problem is the what I did before, it's the file's too big. um it's like 300 gigs and I'm like, okay, well, I clearly need to figure out a better way of encoding this. Um so I've been literally just sitting. I'm on like the fifth or sixth iteration of this where I will change the preset, change the rate control, change the quality, change the encoding profile. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm literally just throwing shit at the wall because every video I've found has been like, oh yeah, just use the YouTube thing and then it does it. And it's like, no, it doesn't. It makes these like squares of like lag that fuck up the whole scene. So I don't know. I don't know why it does that. So I have a half decent thing that I got down to, well, how much? 47 gigs, which again, like, that's uploadable. Um, the problem is the quality when I play it. It just looks kind of just blurred a little bit. Like, the best way to describe it is it's like someone smeared like all the detail to where when the action is happening of me walking, everything is kind of blurred to make it like not super crisp. And I'm like, why does it do that? It's like I'm not, I know nothing about like doing this editing for 4K stuff. I didn't know that it was going to be such a big deal. Um, so yeah, so I haven't posted yesterday's video yet. Today's video is just ready to be posted. Like, it's like ready and set up and everything, but it's just um I understand that I'm just going to have to do this once, where I'm going to be going through all the shenanigans to figure out the perfect preset thing, and then I will make it um a preset render so that I can just plug and play each time from then on. So but it's really frustrating because I'm like, uh I just keep having to make more and more videos, or more and more. I don't know. Like, I wish there was like a preview to see um how big the video was going to be before I actually started uploading, or not uploading, before I started rendering it. So I don't know. Maybe there's somewhere I can see that, but it doesn't have, like, I can't see anything that shows a preview of how big it's gonna be. Um, so the current test I'm gonna do is the preset at encoding at base, encoding profiles base, um, which I don't know if that changes anything because there's a bunch of options that just looked fine, but I don't know. Um, the preset this time is balanced. The rate control is quality, and then quality is high instead of quality. So it's like, uh, let's see if this looks like garbage. I don't know. Based on the speed with which it's rendering, I can judge that this is probably going to be less than 100 gigs of memory to upload, I think. Because it's at 10%, it's been like 10 minutes or 5 minutes. So it's like about an hour to render the whole thing. And well, okay, it says an hour left on the rendering, so I don't know. I hope that it works. I just I just want this to be done so I don't have to worry about this. It's like my thing is not about editing. Um, it's about just making the videos. So, oh well. What can I do? I gotta learn it, and once I learn it, then I won't have to worry about it again. So yeah. Uh, I mean, at this point, you guys have already seen the uploads, so you will have known how it turned out. So we'll see. I also tried encoding in 265 format. Doesn't work on YouTube, or at least it didn't work for me. I couldn't run it on my computer, the 265 format, because of course, God forbid, uh, Windows, you're not allowed to have it on Windows. I mean, that's obviously not true, but it's like I use the what's it called? VLC, like video playback. And yeah, it's just I'm just looking at it and it's like there's no crispness at all in this video. It's very blurred out. The leaves look like little blobs. So it's just kind of like, ugh, God. And this is the best one. This is the best one I've gotten. Is the one where the leaves just kind of look like blobs when you pause it. And my face and everything kind of just looks a little blurred. You can still see also the square pixelation in my like beard and face. It's just less bad. So I don't know, but yeah, the 265 format doesn't work unless whatever program you're using it on has a license for 265. It just won't work. You can't convert it. You can't do anything. It just is broken because who would have thought that some greedy asshole makes a patent for 265 so that no one can use it without the license. It's just like so frustrating. It's like God. Uh, I don't know. The fact that someone can patent a compression formula is so ridiculous. Like, yeah, it obviously does compress the video more, but it's like the greed. It's really what it boils down to. I don't know if it's a company, a specific person, or a specific person that was working for a company. I don't know. I don't know what the specifics on it is. I just know that that's the reason why 265 doesn't work on things, is because someone has a patent on it and forces every company to pay money in order for it to work for their software. So, yeah. Um Luckily, that didn't happen with 264. Even though it's an older format, no one patented it because I don't know, something happened, and I'm not sure how the 264 format got created, but it's just, it's these minor annoyances that just build up over time, and you're just kind of like, it's frustrating how bureaucracy and greed can totally fuck up like awesome advancements we can have. Um, like at the end of the day, we have 264 format, so it's not the end of the world. But like, imagine if we didn't have 264 format, and it was like, well, you either pay for it or you can't like compress your video at all. It's like that would be insane. Um, and then don't get me started on the fucking. We're not a monopoly, but we own basically everything online. It's just another one of those things where it pisses me off that like things have been allowed to progress like this, and it really all boils down to greed. That's what it is. I don't know why my camera sometimes will just cut off and like stop recording. I don't understand. Anyway, as I was saying, it's it's something where individually these things make small differences, but there's an alternative. And I just think about how humanity could be so much more advanced in all aspects, um, if we all actually just work together instead of fucking greedily trying to hoard resources, hoard knowledge, hoard technology, hoard whatever in order to get people ahead. Where it's like, there's definitely a world where there's definitely a world line out there. It did it again. I don't understand why the camera keeps doing this. I'm gonna have to mark it down, that the camera did this a bunch. But so what I was saying is there's definitely a world line out there where humanity has kind of picked the option of actually, I don't know, just like working together and putting aside our differences. Like competition's obviously a great thing, and it spurs on innovation and all of that stuff. But there's the difference between healthy competition and unhealthy competition. And I think that's kind of humanity's kind of landing on that unhealthy competition side where we're fighting for resources that we don't have to fight over, where there's a lot of like effectively trying to dominate over each other to be you know rulers for some sort of perceived power. And it's just like, it doesn't matter who runs the world. I think it's just fucked up that there should be um like actual rulers that rule over people. I think that humanity has lived like this for our entire existence. And surprise, surprise, throughout all of existence, you have been shown time and time again that when you have a one group of people being over another group of people, oppression happens and wars get fought over it. It did it again. I don't know if it's just too hot and that's what it is, but it's literally just like shutting down repeatedly. So I don't know what to do about the camera. It also could just be that I have too many things running in the background. Like I'm doing the rendering and I'm uploading and I'm doing all this other stuff. So that could be a thing too. But anyway, regardless, my point is, this is why I just feel the current system, just like, it doesn't matter if it's like democracy is great in theory. It has a lot of upside. In practice, the people who, at least in our current way that democracy works, it's still, there is still a group of people that control a larger group of people. And we say that it's by the people for the people, but that's only true to a very small extent relative to kind of how easy it is to slide money under the table to certain people to vote for certain things. Look at how outrageous the corruption has gotten when it comes to all of the corporate laws that have been kind of wheedled around, where you can have like corporate monopolies even though it's not technically a corporate monopoly. It's just that every corporation agrees to do the same thing, and they choke out all of the other potential businesses in order to have this monopoly. And it's like, well, if you're expecting the government to like step in and break up these monopolies, you can't, because guess what? Everyone that would vote on that as a thing that should happen are in the pockets of the fucking monopoly makers. So it's like, you know, like, and of course, they're not actually bought out. It's just really odd that they somehow all become millionaires after their terms are over. Whoa, it's so crazy. How did they get all that money? Oh, they must be really good at investing, huh? Uh, they definitely didn't get any help getting those investments. It's like, come on, like, uh, so, so that's where it's like the idealization of democracy. It's like, yeah, it actually like can totally work as like a really positive tool, but you need to make sure that it's incorruptible, or at the very least that there are protections in play so that stuff like what's happening now can't happen, right? Um, the fact that there's a two-party system to where you have to pick the lesser of two evils whenever you vote is ridiculous. Like, that's another play at power so that the American people will point fingers at each other as opposed to pointing fingers at the people who set the whole thing up to make it to where it's a win-win for them. If the only options are the options they want you to have, well, then there's no options at all, right? So it's like, it's just frustrating. And, it's like, I don't have a solution for this. Like, if there was an easy solution to, like, fixing democracy, well, we would have it. Or someone would come up with a solution, right? Um, and then the opposite of, like, well, why don't you just get rid of democracy and have, like, an oligarchy of some kind? It's like, well, there's a whole host of issues why you don't want to have, like, a monarchy or some other form of government that has also kind of proven problematic. So it's like, I'm just kind of bitching at this point. Um, do I love America? Yeah, like America has a lot of great things going for it. Um, are there problems with America? Yeah, just like any other country, there's a lot of problems. Um, it's just kind of you see greed in America kind of crop up as the one of the sins that shows up the most. Greed for power, greed for money, greed for influence. So it's like, it's no surprise that I'm frustrated when I see this happen. Um, but anyway, I've been bitching about this. Like, I don't have a solution for it. Okay, it did it again. I don't know. I wish there was an easy solution. Um, that's where I'm like, damn, a system or mana or like, some sort of alien uh unveiling of the galaxy or something. Like, those things would be interesting to, like, it might shake up how things happen. Could also totally make things way worse, right? Um, I'm not hoping naively that something will show up and just magically make everything better. Um, so, but at the very least, I think something needs to change in some way. Um, you have like I'll just an example. You have the um, reckless Ben situation that has been popping up, and it's like, it just sounds like some people were using some loopholes to effectively fuck over um, another group of people. I'll say it that way in a very uh, milk toast way. Uh, And I don't know. I just think that it's kind of crazy that corporations really do just have like so much soft power. Um, they can sway the police because, well, it's a corporation. Whether the police is corrupt or not, I'm not going to get into. I think, if you look into all of it, it's like some of the police did a great job of like just following directives to try and like just suss out what's going on. There's also some obvious like the police clearly were skirting the line or straight up just obstructing justice. Um, and that's kind of the thing is there's a lot of nuance with this is kind of why it's like you can't just say fuck the police because in actuality the majority of the police are probably like doing great work. It's there's like a few key like detractors in different areas where that kind of bring out um, this anger because yeah there are corrupt cops, um, and when you experience something like that you get really upset, rightfully so, because you expect cops to be on your side, um, to help you. And when you deal with something where they're clearly biased in some way, it's like what the fuck, you know? Um, so so that's why it's like you can't do these like absolute um kind of statements. That's also why it's like uh with corporations. It's like, do I think every corporation's evil? No. Do I think that corporations take advantage of all the loopholes that they've kind of bought themselves? Yeah, of course they do. Um, it's kind of like putting a mouse in front of this pile of cheese and then saying, okay, now I'm just letting you know you're not supposed to be eating any of this cheese here. Um, but you're going to be the guard to safeguard this cheese. Like, what do you expect is going to happen? The mouse is going to eat the cheese. Like, that's like stupid. And it's the same thing here where it's like if the corporations are paying uh people in government to lobby for specific laws to be passed for the corporation's benefit, yeah, of course they're going to do it. Like, no fucking shit. Like, if they can make it to where they make more money and be better protected, of course the corporation is going to do everything in their power to make that happen. Um, so it's like, it's no surprise that a corporation would do that. Is it okay? No, it shouldn't be okay. Uh, but like, there's a whole host of reasons why, like, we're at where we're at. And there's no one finger that you need to point at to make it to say, oh, these people did the thing or this person did the thing. No, it's like it's so complicated and there's so many like there's a big mesh of different things. So yeah. Um but anyway, like this is also why I try my best to it's not to be ignorant, but to like distance myself from all of this and be detached somewhat, because when I'm not, this is what happens. Like I watched the all of the Reckless Ben stuff, and then I got sucked into the rabbit hole of like, um, you know, seeing the different arguments on both sides of, wow, the police are fucking all pigs and evil and blah 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 whatever, and then other people being like, you don't see, this policeman was so good and blah 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 whatever, and it's like, um it's tough. And no one realizes that it doesn't matter whether you're on the side of police or on the side of police being evil. It's a false like side thing. It's just like the two-party system. It's a false choice. You shouldn't be for the police and you shouldn't be against the police. You should use your discernment with each interaction you see, and then kind of figure out the outcome based on that individual, not as a collective of all police. And this is kind of where nuance just gets thrown out the window, because it's really easy to say all police bad and then get people to rally on your side. And it's also easy to say all police good, so we should all rally because some police did a good thing. It's like uh, human nature. We all want to just gather in groups together and go, other people bad, So, um, I don't know. This is why I strongly feel that we need a massive shift towards unity, where we all come together and um, set aside our differences in political beliefs, set aside our differences in cultural norms and cultural beliefs, and really like have an honest like try at all working together for once. But if no one wants to do that, or if no one sees the incentive in doing that, then we're just going to have more people pointing. So, yeah, I don't know. And I'm not saying that everyone getting together and unifying, uh, that's not an easy thing, because there are perceived slights all across the board. Um, you can look at any uh, group of people and say, well, at some point, these group of people felt wronged in some way. And so now, because they've felt wronged, they need justice. And it's like, at a certain point, there needs to just be a stop to pointing the finger. Someone needs to stop pointing the finger. It doesn't matter how right you feel about why you're pointing the finger. You just need to not point the finger. Even if genuinely it's fucked up, whatever happened, right? I'll give you an example. My old roommate, in the last house, when they caused a massive scene and had all the fighting and the yelling and the screaming and all of this stuff, right? It would be very easy to point the finger and say, well, they're evil, so we should, you know, do fucked up shit to them. Or, you know, like, there were definitely times when it would have been easier to be angry, frustrated, mad, and like yell back. Uh, there were definitely times when it would have been easier to just throw them out on the street right away and say, you're not allowed back inside and we're calling the police. Like, yeah, that could have happened. But at the end of the day, that was just wrong. That's the wrong way to go about it, because it's perpetuating this cycle of, well, they did something that I don't like, so now I'm going to do something that they don't like. And then they're going to be like, well, I can't believe that they would do this to me, so now I'm going to do something back to them. And this is how the cycle perpetuates. Um, so that's why it's like, eventually, in order to stop the cycle, one of you just has to stop pointing the finger and say, enough's enough. I may not agree with what you're doing. I can defend myself and say, this is not okay. But also, I'm not going to keep perpetuating this back and forth. We need to come to some sort of compromise, even though we do not see eye to eye. Because this, the pointing of the finger, does not work. It just makes everyone suffer. And this is kind of the attitude that needs to start being more widespread. Because we're all just humans trying to figure out our place in life, trying to just live the best lives we can. And I mean, pointing the finger hurts everyone. And you don't think in the moment that maybe it hurts you, but down the line you realize it does. It did it again. This video is gonna have so many cuts. Um, but yeah, so you know, seeking revenge, you may feel good in the moment because you're like, oh, finally justice. But all you're doing is hurting yourself by hurting someone else. You're gonna think back on how fucked up the things you did were, all for justice, your perceived justice, when it wasn't really justice. Um, you may think that it's justice because you're getting revenge, but it's not. And so, yeah, it's just, the cycle's gotta end at some point. So, I don't know why I got sucked down this rabbit hole. Uh, it's like, this is why I just feel like something so monumental needs to shift in order to shake the whole tree to get people to like stop and like really assess themselves. I don't know what that thing is gonna have to be. Maybe it's fucking alien intervention or some sort of like, uh, the magic stuff or the system stuff, or getting introduced to the wider universe. I don't fucking know what it's gonna look like. But I feel like something has to happen. Like something needs to change. Um, so I hope it comes soon, whatever it is, because I mean, we've seen what happens when we are divided. It never goes well. So, um, and in the end, even the victors suffer. It may not appear as though they suffer, but there is suffering there. Um, so I don't know. I'm going to God, I'm at like 65% on this newest render. I've kind of decided that if it's like 6 o'clock or so, um, I'm going to just post the blurry video and then post today's video, obviously. I would rather not have to post the blurry video. Like, it's fine, but it's not, it doesn't feel like 4K. You know, when you think of 4K, you think like, okay, crispness, like, you know, and it's not a problem with the camera. The camera has like great quality. It's a problem with how I balance the size with the quality of the video. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. So I will talk to you a little bit later. I guess I'll tell you the outcome in the evening. So yeah. Okay. Bye. Hey guys. It is 10:30, and I've been basically on the computer all day. I've been trying to, figure out the proper, well, I say proper, the best kind of quality versus quantity, or I mean quality versus size. And I don't know why, but this last one that I did, I got down to 122 gigs, which seems a lot lower than the 262 gigs I was at before. On the 209, 218. And what I did with this one is I just turned the quality to poor for like the bottom one, because they have preset, they have rate control, and then they have quality. Yeah, quality. And literally the quality I just put at least. It still looks fine, I think. Let me look. Well, I mean, yeah, it looks fine. The sky looks fucked, but I think that has more to do with the camera being overexposed. So that's a whole other separate thing. But aside from that, yeah, I've literally just been on the computer too much because my brain is just melted. Listening to a book, doing more, doing the editing stuff. I've been uploading. There's I think it's, yeah, Jesus Christ. The one that I got down to 200 gigs, I'm uploading because I was like, well, I need something, and that one looked fine, and I can upload it to YouTube. I'm 25% of the way to upload, and it's been like 8 hours. So, it's like 8 or 9 hours. Well, no, it's been 7 hours. So, don't know what what to do there. I really need to figure out like a way better condensed like thing for videos. I don't know. Theoretically, I should have all of this figured out by the time you watch this, but it's like, fuck, this is so annoying. Who would have thought that editing a 4K video would be this frustrating? But I am gonna figure this out, so I'm fixated on getting this figured out. Eventually, I'll figure out the right settings, and then it'll all work out. But okay, I guess I will. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm really tired, and I'm just kind of. I got my haircut tomorrow in the morning. It's at 10 a.m. So I gotta wake up at like 8. So it means I should be like laying in bed now. So I guess this is a quick one. But yeah, I think tomorrow I'm probably gonna, after my haircut, I'm probably gonna do like a bigger walk. I still don't have the boots. However, I did get little packing cubes and a backpack that I can put underneath my seat to try and see if I can do one bag, if I can pack everything into one bag for like trips and whatnot. Because that would be really awesome to just have a backpack and just walk around with the backpack. Like, that would be nice. These suitcases are kind of just fucking annoying. I'll just say it. If I can avoid the suitcase, that'd be great. But yeah. Anyway, we'll see. So I guess that's it. I've been I feel just my brain just feels rotted and melted from being online today. So that's why I need to like go out and be in nature and doing stuff. I posted today's video, but like yesterday's video is still being uploaded, so it will probably be posted tomorrow. So yeah. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.